You're a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond. So long. Sadly, these last 10 James Bond movies, there's no humor in them. So they're just not fun. I don't really like watching the James Bond movies. Now that Daniel Craig is a humorous person, like in The Onion and The Glass Onion and Knives Out and stuff. But they just wrote all humor out of these movies so recently. That's a random bit of a topic there. So MiniGT here, we have the DB10. This is the first time Aston Martin created a car specifically for this movie. They made 8 for filming and crashing and 2 for promotions, but they never actually sold any to the public, to my understanding. It's officially licensed here by MiniGT, our parent company TSM model. There's anti-theft packaging. I hate this stuff. I guess I understand anti-theft, but maybe they should just, well, I don't know, maybe just a big cardboard box? Just not a fan of all the plastic that I have to throw away. This car in the movie has a bulletproof exterior. The real car has all carbon fiber body panels. It has the movie car ejector seat and self-locking parachute system, a rear-mounted twin-barrel machine gun, digital targeting system, and twin exhaust flamethrowers. So it has a lot of those old James Bond things. Alright, so I wanted to check. You can store this. It comes with the blister to store it. The real car, I believe, is based off the DB9. Let me just check here. And that's why I checked. It's actually based off of the V8 Vantage, with a but it has a longer wheelbase. And then it has a 4.7 liter V8. And it goes 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. And estimated top speed would be 190 miles per hour, that is. And then it says here, fires from 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. I'm getting this information from 007.com. So I don't know why there's 2 0 to 60s with 2 different times listed. Don't know. It doesn't really mention the horsepower either, but you'll have to pause the video, see if it looks like their photos, but being a licensed product, I guess it's pretty good enough for Aston Martin to approve, right? So the metallic paint is nice. It's like a darker silver. It could be gunmetal. It's not a light silver. It's quite dark, in my opinion. But the camera tends to change the saturation of colors, so it's hard for me to really show you properly. On the bottom here, we do have a metal base. It's screwed together in the front, but the back, I don't know if there's a tab or what. It might be two. Oh, sorry for the wobble. Two tabs possibly there. Tells you who made it, and here it's telling you what it is, so that's good. Okay, so the treads, they look pretty nice, and from the side, I'm not a fan. MiniGT just likes to run their treads out to the edge, but if you look at the photographs of a normal road car, they don't have all these knobby treads. They're not obnoxiously large, but they're unnecessarily noticeable. Some other brands like Kyosho wouldn't have that problem. Alright, there is some sort of printed on, I assume that's supposed to be carbon fiber, just some silver paint there. It's paint though, that's good. It's not a decal, it's not going to crack or fall off in the future. And then, let's see about the wheel here. Yeah, it looks like the wheels on the photos. This funky little offset spoke, well, short spoke, divided by a long spoke. And then lug nut details there, the center area. Kind of slab-sided tires as well, but they're low profile. You're not going to get brake systems on a MiniGT, so that's fine for the price. I don't know what's going on with this vent. Okay, so no black paint in there, but I understand it's very shallow. And then I'm looking at the photos. I believe this is like a piece of metal trim on the real car. Here it's just the same body color, I guess, no additional paint. And then here we have a very fine door handle cut. The actual cut of the door panel seems acceptable. And then these are nice thin looking mirrors, and what's great about this brand, rubbery. Although long term I'm not sure if this rubber is going to harden and just become brittle and break. Hopefully not. Oh yeah, and MiniGTs, they like to be toys. Okay. The side windows, they're molded at this price level. You do have some sort of groove, and the blackout is printed on the outside, as it has to be usually with molded windows. Going to the front, we have this grill here. Sounds like it's made of plastic. Very fine grill strakes. Unfortunately, a little dent happened here in the casting. And what's going on with this? Some silver paint on the base. Yeah, I don't even see this on the real photos, but yeah, I don't know. It's just I guess a carbon chin spoiler, but just split in two. Alright, and then the really thin headlight seems to be plastic, and I'm trying to focus on it. There's some printing on the outside surface of silver, and let me get the flashlight. It's definitely got to be a light bucket back there. Yeah, just black back there. Unfortunately, the paint on the outside is so thick that there's probably a headlight back there. It's just, you know, covered up by the paint on the outside. So ideally, honestly, they could have skipped it. If I look at the front photograph, you don't see any lines like this. There's no lines like this at all on that front photograph I pulled up. You just see two projectors back here. So I'm not sure why they went through the trouble of that. Maybe they changed between the promo images that MiniGT worked off of, and then the real car, they just skipped it. I don't know. The Aston badge is proportionally the correct size, I would say. It's not huge, not too small. It's gonna be hard to read though. Let's see. Magnify 4 times. I can't read it, but you can see like the pattern of the feathers and stuff, so I think it looks pretty good. And then there's some sort of printing here. Yeah, I don't know what that's for. Maybe there's some tiny vents in the roof, the hood of this car, the bonnet. Okay, so molded in wiper blade there, a very long wiper blade. Interesting, or 2 of them maybe. Blackouts on the outside again. Funky little bulges for the heads there. Alright, that all looks fine. I don't see some sort of casting bump there, paint blemish. Alright, going to the taillights. I guess they're clear. It's really hard to see because they're so thin, but trying to see what's going on back there. I don't know. Maybe it's just the silver of this casting. But I feel like there's something round there, but then it's not here, so I don't know. Hard to say. The thing is so short, I can't tell what's going on. The badge in the back there, yeah, that's fine. But sadly, yeah, a dent here, getting thrown around in the factory. And then it's nice that you have an actual license plate and it matches up with that photograph, so that's good. And then you have the silver paint again to bring out the carbon fiber weave. And then you have silver here for the exhaust tips. Let me get focus again. It's just very shallow, but they look round, and it's nice to have that little edge. And what's up with this? Oh, okay, so there's some sort of bisecting strake there in the rear diffuser vent area. Alright. A little trunk, I guess. And then, boy, this thing is really shiny, so the camera can't focus on it. Some sort of parcel shelf there in the trunk. The dashboard, yeah, standard black dashboard. It seems like the real car has a black interior. Let's see if there's any extra details inside. Well, that's molded very nicely. The steering wheel, the instruments, and that little thing on the top of the dashboard. Some sort of display, but oddly it's facing the... You see this? This thing is facing the passenger, not the driver. It's hard for me to tell, but this thing, whatever this rectangular thing is going this way, right? But the driver's here. Please leave a comment. What's that all about? Why is it not pointed towards the driver? Okay, you can say these are molded windows. Pretty clear, actually. I think there's a rear view mirror. Did I see one? No, maybe I didn't. There's a stick shift there. Center console looks okay. Door panel, let's see. Yeah, okay. Well, the door panel stuff. The seats, yeah, racing-like seats there. Some cushioning and details, ribs and grooves. I think it's a fine interior, yeah. But if you wanted to, you could try to take it apart and repaint it, but seeing how this car never made it into the real world, as far as people to own in their private garages, I assume all the real ones in the movie just had a black interior. I am now noticing the window, around the window, if I could focus on it, I think they put some silver paint here. It's very thin, but maybe right here you can see that I believe that's a different color. I might be wrong. Maybe it's just catching the light. It's hard to say. It's almost like there's a chrome trim going around these side windows. But I might be mistaken. It's so similar to their body paint that... No, I do think it is there. Well, you'll have to decide. Pause the video and decide. Pretty cool looking car. I think it looks kind of like a shark. So here's the DB5 that MiniGT also did. And it's pretty good, except for... Well, yeah, it's pretty good all in all. You know, they can't... Wire wheels are tough at 164. I've never seen really great ones unless they're... Even photo etch ones don't look that great. Alright, so the next ones will be a few Kyoshos, which are old. And so you see the tires on this Vantage, they're round, right? But they still have treads. So Kyosho doesn't bring the tread across to the edge, and so it looks more realistic for it. Yeah, V8 Vantage. Here's the Zagato. Now here's a warning. Look at the leaching of the chemicals out of these tires here. This is a Kyosho as well. So that's concerning. Whatever these tires are made of, or PVC or whatever. I feel like if they're not made of silicone, they're gonna harden and crack with age. So be mindful of that. See, look at this residue that I just scraped onto this Q-tip. This yellow leaching. Just like real car tires, they just get old and brittle, so it's a problem. Again, even though it has treads, they're not obnoxious by Kyosho. They're basically round looking. I added my own license plate. Yeah, the last one is this 177 by Kyosho, and again, you can see the chemicals leaching out, but yeah, that's concerning, right? Very concerning. What is all this stuff? In fact, I don't know. It actually looks like the tire's pitting. That's a problem. That's definitely a problem. Alright, so it's almost like I would rather have plastic tires like Hot Wheels does. There's no reason why they couldn't just mold a plastic tire. They could still have the treads. And everyone wants rolling toys, it seems. So if they had plastic tires, they would roll fast, just like Hot Wheels. What do you guys think about that? I think it'd be perfectly acceptable to have tires made out of hard plastic, so they don't end up looking like this, right? All these little gouges and, yeah, leaching of chemicals. It's not good. I do feel like these two are the most similar in their styling. The director of this movie, Spectre, Sam Mendes, he just wanted an Aston Martin that looks like you couldn't really know what year it came out. That was what Sam Mendes wanted. And although it is a very modern looking, very smooth design, yeah, who are we kidding? That's a modern Aston. Right? It's definitely, this is like a 90s, I think, maybe. Right? It's very old 60s maybe. So yeah, that's a very modern looking Aston. It's so clean. It's very clean in its appearance. Alright, still pretty neat. Look at just the difference, right? How wide cars are, because all the crash standards, all the extra junk they have to jam into them. So MiniGT did another great job, I would say. I guess if I was to nitpick, maybe the factory, they need to be a little nicer to the castings, because there's a couple dents in my casting. what I assume is these things get pulled out of a mold and they get thrown into a box. But when you throw one casting against another, that's where the denting comes in. So ideally they would actually just place the castings into a tray, but that takes up a lot of space and it takes more time. But if you're trying to make nicer toys, which I think TSM model is fully capable of doing, because they make 1/200 scale airplanes that are fantastic. But everything has a budget, I guess. What's nice about this one is it actually has the license plate. Same with the DB5. The Kyoshos didn't come with license plates, right? And it has the rubbery mirrors, which though again, I don't know if those are gonna harden, just like the Kyosho tires. So that's a concern. Long term, sadly 164 isn't really a good hobby to collect long term. The materials, they're not made to be durable, or not durable, just not meant to last. Zinc rot, paint rash, that's a very common problem in diecast anything. So that's a concern. And then the tires or the rubbers they use. And then when it comes to resin models, the windows pop off, so I complain about that in those videos. I like to buy things and keep them for a long time. Maybe a lot of people just want to flip them, make a profit, but I buy these things because it's a hobby. I want to enjoy it, right? I'm not here to make money off of a miniature car. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.